ivmasters.learning7 at ivmasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 8, Section 3, Number 3, which reads, the formula below is often used by project managers to compute E, the estimated time to complete a job, where O is the shortest completion time, P is the longest completion time, and M is the most likely completion time. And then you get the formula and it says which of the following correctly gives P in terms of E, O, and M. If in terms of screws you up, just cross it out, ignore it. If it's asking which of the following correctly gives you P, then all you got to do is get your P alone. And sure enough, P is alone in all the answer choices, so those are two hints. And algebraic solution is the way to go here if you know how to do it algebraically. But I'm thinking if you're watching this video you had trouble with the algebra, in which case I'm going to give you an alternative solution. Whenever there are variables in the answer choices, what you can do is you can pick numbers. So I'm going to guide you through like some tips for picking numbers as well. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a number for M. I want to keep my number for M as small as possible because it's attached to the fourth, so that can get big really quickly. So I'm just going to make my M equal 1. What am I going to make my O? Let's say equal 2. Notice I'm keeping my numbers small because I don't want to wind up with giant results. And then what am I going to make my P? Now, in order to pick a number for P, what I want to consider is it'd be nice to have a whole number instead of a fraction. And if I plug my M in, 4 times 1 is 4, and my O in, plus 2 is 6, I'm going to make my P equal 6 as well. In which case, if I plug all those values in, I plug 2 plus 4. In place of the M, I put 1, because that's what I said. I'm going to make my M plus 6. I made my P equal 6 over 6. Then I get 2 plus 4 plus 6. That is a 4 over 6. Then I get 6 plus 6 over 6. And I get 12 over 6. And 12 over 6 reduces to 2. So E equals 2. Here's another tip for picking numbers. I've had students before say, oh, Paul told me to pick numbers. I'm going to pick numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, you can't pick 1, 2, 3, and 4 because 1 plus 4 times 2 plus 3 over 6 does not give you 4. So you've got to, whenever you've got more than one variable in an equation, you got to pick for all the numbers for all the variables except for 1 and then solve for that 1. And it's always easiest to solve for the variable that's alone. So never pick a number for the variable that's alone. You want to solve for the variable that's alone, which is exactly what we did here. So now, how am I going to know which of these answer choices are correct? All I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my M, 1 in for M, 2 in for O, 6 in for P, and 2 in for E into each answer choice, and eliminate anything that just doesn't work out. So if I'm testing out answer choice A, in place of my P I put 6 equals 6 times in place of E I put 2 minus O in place of O I put 2 because that's what I picked for these numbers minus 4 times M and in place of M I put 1. And I'm running into this over here. I'm going to cross it out so we don't get that confused. So 6 equals 6 times 2 is 12 minus 2 minus 4. 6 equals 2 minus 2 is going to give you 10 minus 4. And 6 does equal 10 minus 4. Now for the purpose of this question, what you'd want to do is you'd want to take that same process and plug it in for answer choice B and C and D to make sure that none of the other answers work out. And if more than one of them do, then you've got to pick you've either got to guess and move on if timing is an issue for you, or you've got to pick a new set of numbers to distinguish between those two answer choices. So it looks like A is likely to be our answer. Now instead of plugging into all the other answer choices to ensure that, which you would do on test time if you have the amount of time, what we're going to also do is we're going to solve this algebraically now, because you want to know where you made your algebra mistake if you got this question wrong at all as well. So if I've got the original up here, E equals O plus 4M plus P the whole quantity over 6. What I want to do first is always ask yourself, would you rather work with whole numbers or fractions? You'd rather work with whole numbers. Get rid of the fraction whenever possible, and usually as early as possible. So here you multiply that side by 6, you multiply this side by 6. In that case, you get 6E equals, and all it does on the right side is it cancels the 6, O plus 4M plus P. And now to get the P alone, what do you got to do? You got to subtract. Oh, I'll do this in 2 steps. and subtract O. So 6e, can't combine those two different variables. Minus O equals 4m plus p. And then to get the p alone, what do you got to do? You got to subtract 4m minus 4m. And then you get 6e minus O minus 4m equals p. And notice, this is in a bit of a different order. It's minus O minus 4m. I have minus O minus 4m. Oh no, it's in the same order. But anyway, that is your answer. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble when there's variables in the answer choices, does not know this approach to picking numbers. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.